Welcome to my channel. Vivien Lee's elegance, ambition, and undeniable charisma captivated everyone fortunate enough to cross her path. Her rise to fame was fueled not only by her talent, but also by her passionate and tumultuous love affair with actor Laurence Olivier, a romance that was as enchanting as it was heartbreaking. However, there's a lesser-known side to Lee's story, her lifelong struggle with bipolar disorder. This battle brought her both profound suffering and remarkable strength, shaping the complexities of her personal and professional life. Why is Vivien Lee's love story considered one of the most tragic in Hollywood history? Stay tuned to uncover the truth behind her legendary yet sorrowful journey, and don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. If you're new here, join our wonderful community by hitting the subscribe button. The life and loves of Vivien Lee, and Laurence Olivier, a love story that began with passion and secrecy, but ended in heartbreak. Some of the most stunning actresses of stage and screen can often be described as either reserved or notorious socialites. Yet Vivien Leigh managed to embody both beauty and intrigue. An English convent schoolgirl with striking looks and a magnetic presence, she captivated everyone she met. The ever-charming David Niven once described her as the most beautiful woman I ever saw outside an art gallery. Peter Finch, one of her many admirers, famously confided to a friend, "After you've been to bed with Vivien, nothing else matters." Vivien Lee's life was a fervent whirlwind of passion, marked by extraordinary achievements, yet shadowed by personal turmoil. While her dazzling career cemented her as one of Hollywood's brightest stars, her journey was far from idyllic, culminating in struggles with heavy drinking, the relentless challenges of bipolar disorder, and her untimely death from tuberculosis at just 53. Vivien Lee's illustrious career was not just defined by her iconic roles, but also by her unwavering dedication to the craft of acting. Known for her meticulous preparation and profound understanding of her characters, Leigh often delved deeply into the psychology of her roles, which earned her critical acclaim. However, this same intensity came at a cost. The immense pressure to embody perfection, coupled with the expectations of a demanding industry, exacerbated her personal struggles. Friends and colleagues noted that her brilliance on screen often mirrored her inner conflicts, creating performances that were as haunting as they were mesmerizing. Her artistic partnership with Laurence Olivier, which began as an impassioned romance, also served as a source of inspiration and rivalry, further shaping her career and personal life. Despite these hardships, Lee's legacy remains immortal. She is celebrated for her unforgettable portrayal of ScarlettOHara in Gone with the Wind, and remembered as the great love of Laurence Olivier's life, a connection that, though tumultuous, defined an era of romantic and artistic brilliance. Vivien Leigh and Laurence Olivier's romance ignited in a whirlwind of secrecy, at a time when both were deeply entangled in other marriages. Leigh, wed to Herbert Lee Holman, and Olivier, married to the renowned actress Jill Esmond, initially tried to uphold the facade of their respective commitments. But from the moment Leigh saw Olivier performing on stage, her resolve to be with him obliterated all notions of loyalty to her marriage. Olivier, equally captivated by Leigh's striking beauty and enigmatic presence, could not resist the magnetic pull between them. Their relationship was one of fiery passion and grand romantic gestures, but it was also a tale of obsession and betrayal. Leigh pursued Olivier with the unrelenting determination and charisma that mirrored her most iconic character, ScarlettOHara. Olivier, drawn into the storm of their shared emotions, succumbed to the undeniable chemistry they shared. Together, they defied convention, breaking through the societal norms of their time to begin a love affair that would later be remembered as one of the most passionate and tumultuous in the history of theater and film. Vivien Leigh and Laurence Olivier's love story was as dramatic as their on-screen performances. Leaving their respective spouses caused a storm of controversy, but their undeniable chemistry propelled them into a high-profile marriage. Together, they became the golden couple of the stage and screen, captivating audiences worldwide. Olivier's knighthood further elevated their status, and the pair reigned as cultural royalty at Notley Abbey, their sophisticated countryside retreat in Buckinghamshire. The estate became a hub of glamour and creativity, reflecting their illustrious careers and shared artistic pursuits. Vivien Leigh was born on November 5, 1913, fireworks night, in the picturesque hill station of Darjeeling, during the height of the British Raj. Her early childhood was steeped in the exotic charm of colonial India, with her father often embarking on hunting expeditions into the dense jungles. The vibrant cultural tapestry of colonial India profoundly influenced Vivien Leigh's artistic sensibilities and appreciation for storytelling. Growing up amidst the lush landscapes and the diverse cultural milieu of Darjeeling, Vivien was exposed to a unique blend of British traditions and Indian customs. This fusion of worlds nurtured her vivid imagination and sparked an early love for the arts, from literature to theatrical performances at local gatherings. It was this rich, multicultural upbringing that planted the seeds of her eventual fascination with portraying complex characters, enabling her to embody roles with depth and authenticity later in life. Meanwhile, Vivien herself was enchanted by the whimsical tales of Rudyard Kipling, particularly his Just So stories, which became a cornerstone of her childhood imagination. However, her idyllic early years in India came to an abrupt end at the age of 6, when her parents sent her back to England for a proper British education. Enrolled in a strict convent school, Vivien quickly learned to adapt to the regimented life of discipline and austerity. Among the many peculiarities of her upbringing was the nuns' insistence that the girls mortify their sense of taste by eating rhubarb with salt instead of sugar, a stark reminder of the rigid character-building ethos that shaped her formative years. From a young age, Vivien Leigh showed a deep passion for acting, expressing her dreams to become an actress to those around her. At the age of 18, she took a significant step toward her aspirations by enrolling at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts, RADA, in London. However, alongside her budding talent, early signs of bipolar disorder began to emerge. Years later, former schoolmates recalled her unpredictable behavior. One noted, "We didn't understand it at the time, but it was clear something was off." Vivien could be perfectly normal, friendly, and engaged in her activities for weeks or even months, and then out of nowhere, she would completely change. Looking back with what we know now, it's evident that she was struggling with something beyond her control, a young girl burdened by inner turmoil. These early struggles foreshadowed the complex challenges that would shape Leigh's life and career. Vivien Leigh's first foray into acting came remarkably early, at just 3 years old, when she performed Little Bo Peep in her mother's amateur theater group. Even at that tender age, her natural charisma shone, captivating audiences and setting the stage for her future in acting. Her early performances soon garnered attention, and before long, film offers began pouring in. These opportunities quickly propelled her into the spotlight, marking her as one of Hollywood's most promising and adored rising stars. In her personal life, Vivien's first marriage was to Lee Holman, a barrister 13 years her senior. Their love story began at a party where Vivien reportedly saw him across the room and confidently declared That doesn't matter. He hasn't seen me yet." True to her prediction, Holman soon became smitten with her. They married and went on to have a daughter named Suzanne. Despite their age difference and the societal norms of the time, their marriage initially seemed stable, though Vivien's growing ambitions and passions would later lead her down a different path. Like many artistic souls, Vivien Lee's undeniable charm and immense talent contrasted sharply with her struggles as a mother. Her marriage to Herbert Lee Holman, a barrister with little interest in the theater, was fraught with tension. Holman disapproved of Vivien's passion for acting, which created a significant rift between them. Despite adopting his surname for her stage name, Vivien Leigh, the traditional role of housewife, left her feeling unfulfilled. This dissatisfaction only deepened her desire to pursue a different kind of role, one that allowed her to fully explore her talents as an actress. Balancing societal expectations with her ambitions proved to be one of the defining challenges of her early life. Laurence Coeur Olivier, born in 1907 in Dorking, England, exhibited a natural talent for acting from a young age. His love for the stage became evident at just 10 years old when he began performing in school plays. Recognizing his potential, Olivier pursued formal training, spending a year at acting school before landing his first small roles with a touring theater group. It wasn't long before his skills earned him recognition as a Shakespearean specialist, and he became a central figure in the prestigious Old Vic Theatre Company. Olivier's rise to prominence was not without challenges. Early in his career, he faced criticism for what some regarded as an overly theatrical acting style, better suited to the stage than to film. Determined to prove his versatility, Olivier honed his craft, learning to adapt his performances to the subtleties of the camera. This relentless pursuit of excellence paid off when he received widespread acclaim for his performances in films like Wuthering Heights, 1939, and Rebecca, 1940, which marked the beginning of his Hollywood success. These roles not only established him as an international star, but also demonstrated his ability to transition seamlessly between the stage and screen, a rarity among actors of his time. Simultaneously, he began building a career in British cinema, appearing in several films that showcased his range and depth. Olivier's talents soon caught the attention of Hollywood, where he transitioned into a successful career in romantic dramas. His performances in iconic roles like Heathcliff in Wuthering Heights and Max de Winter in Alfred Hitchcock's Rebecca solidified his reputation as a versatile and commanding actor. Renowned for his psychological approach to character interpretation, Olivier's work was marked by a deep emotional intensity and a refined personal style that set him apart as one of the most respected actors of his time. Laurence Olivier married his first wife, Jill Esmond, in 1932. They had a son together, but from the beginning, Olivier sensed their union wasn't built to last. Their marriage was marked by a lack of physical intimacy, as Esmond was more romantically inclined toward women. Despite their shared professional pursuits and early companionship, the relationship lacked the passion Olivier craved. Meanwhile, Vivien Leigh was making bold claims about her future, declaring to friends and anyone who would listen that one day she would marry him. Fate seemed to be aligning their paths, setting the stage for one of Hollywood's most storied and tempestuous love affairs. Vivien Leigh first set her eyes on Laurence Olivier while watching him perform in a theater play. Enthralled by his charisma and talent, she confided in a friend, "That's the man I'm going to marry." Her friend, however, reminded her of a critical detail. "I just want to remind you that you are married, and so is he." Undeterred, Leigh responded with unwavering determination, "It doesn't matter. I'll still marry him one day." The two officially met in 1936, following one of Lee's theatrical performances in London. After the show, Olivier approached Lee to congratulate her on her remarkable performance. This encounter marked the beginning of their magnetic connection, with Olivier equally captivated by Lee's beauty and charm. Despite their respective marriages, this fateful meeting ignited a deep and enduring love that would go on to define their lives and careers. The attraction between Vivien Leigh and Laurence Olivier was immediate, and their real-life connection quickly mirrored the fiction they portrayed. Just 2 years after their initial meeting, they starred together as lovers in Fire Over England. On set, their chemistry was undeniable, and it wasn't long before an intense off-screen affair ignited. Their passion spilled into the written word, with the pair exchanging deeply personal letters whenever their work on separate movie projects kept them apart. These letters were filled with longing and devotion, a testament to the depth of their connection. However, their romance had to remain a closely guarded secret, as both were still married to other people, making their love affair as complicated as it was consuming. Upon their return to England, Vivien Leigh and Laurence Olivier made a life-altering decision. They informed their respective spouses that their marriages had come to an end and moved in together in Iver, Buckinghamshire. There, the couple spent a blissful month together before Olivier departed for Hollywood to begin filming Wuthering Heights in 1938. Leigh, unwilling to be apart from him for too long, followed a month later, joining him in California. The couple's passion extended beyond their personal lives. They were eager to collaborate professionally as well. However, they faced disappointment when the producer of Gone with the Wind opted for Olivier to star in Alfred Hitchcock's Rebecca, but excluded Leigh from the cast. The producer reasoned that keeping their on-screen presence separate until their divorces were finalized would help avoid complicating their burgeoning Hollywood careers. Both Leigh and Olivier were disheartened by the decision, but remained committed to finding ways to work together in the future. Since societal norms at the time frowned heavily on married parents engaging in affairs, Laurence Olivier and Vivien Leigh faced immense pressure to keep their relationship under wraps. This was no easy feat, as the couple lived together and were utterly infatuated with one another. Their agents and publicists frequently urged them to exercise discretion, often pleading with the lovers to maintain a low profile. For years, up until 1940, the pair went to great lengths to shield their romance from public scrutiny. However, when the weight of their hidden love became unbearable, they dissolved their failing marriages and made their relationship official. Predictably, their decision caused a scandal, capturing headlines and fueling public fascination. But instead of derailing their careers, their marriage only amplified their appeal, transforming them into one of the most beloved power couples of their time. Vivien Leigh and Laurence Olivier tied the knot in August 1940 at Rancho San Isidro in Santa Barbara, California, after finalizing their divorces earlier that year in February. Their wedding was an understated affair, attended by only a small circle of close friends. Among the select few was Katharine Hepburn, who served as one of the witnesses to their union. Shortly after the ceremony, the newlyweds returned to England, where Olivier had been stationed with the Royal Air Force during the World War II. Despite the challenges of wartime, the couple continued to thrive professionally and sought opportunities to collaborate. Their shared passion for acting led them to appear together in several notable projects, including the film That Hamilton Woman, which was lauded for their dynamic on-screen chemistry. They also starred in stage productions such as Romeo and Juliet, further solidifying their reputation as a formidable artistic duo. Though their relationship was finally public, it didn't shield them from criticism. In fact, some critics were quick to use their pens as weapons. In 1943, Laurence Olivier secured permission to direct and star in Henry Thirst, while Vivien Leigh embarked on a tour of North Africa to entertain troops during the World War II. Despite the physical distance, the couple remained deeply connected, exchanging letters frequently, their love for each other evident in every word. However, Lee's outward displays of strength masked growing inner turmoil. After completing her tour, she was hospitalized with tuberculosis, a stark reminder of her fragile health. Upon her return home, there seemed to be a glimmer of hope when she discovered she was pregnant. Tragically, her joy was short-lived, as she suffered a devastating miscarriage just weeks later. This loss sent Lee into a spiral of depression, offering an early glimpse of the bipolar disorder that would later dominate her life. Despite the couple's love and shared ambitions, the weight of these personal struggles began to cast a shadow over their once glamorous union. Vivien Leigh settled into their luxurious mansion Notley Abbey, while Laurence Olivier focused on solidifying his stature in the London theater scene. However, those close to the couple began noticing cracks in their marriage. Leigh had developed a troubling dependency on alcohol, which added strain to their relationship, and Olivier appeared increasingly disenchanted with her persistent need for attention and reassurance. Despite these tensions, Olivier made it a point to rush back home every weekend to be by her side, attempting to maintain their bond amidst the growing challenges. When Laurence Olivier left Vivien Leigh behind in England, the cracks in her mental health began to surface. At the time, there was little understanding of mental illness, let alone any proper diagnosis or treatment for bipolar disorder. As a result, Leigh received no support or intervention for her worsening condition. During the production of the 1938 film A Yank in Oxford, her erratic behavior became increasingly evident. Leigh frequently experienced mood swings, earning her a reputation as a challenging and difficult actress on set. Despite the lack of professional help, Leigh had started to recognize the warning signs of her episodes. Her bipolar disorder typically manifested in a predictable cycle: several days of intense hyperactivity and boundless energy, followed by a plunge into deep depression. These phases often culminated in a complete breakdown, marked by uncontrollable tremors and profane outbursts. The mounting pressures of her career and personal life only exacerbated her condition, leaving Leigh to battle her inner demons largely on her own. In 1948, Laurence Olivier, newly knighted, embarked on a tour of Australia and New Zealand to raise funds for the Old Vic Theatre, taking Vivien Leigh with him. With Olivier's knighthood, Leigh acquired the title of Lady Olivier, a milestone that marked a turning point in their marriage. While Olivier thrived in his professional life, Leigh's mental health deteriorated as her depression deepened. The strain in their relationship became apparent to the cast and crew, who frequently witnessed heated arguments between the couple. On one occasion, Leigh even refused to go on stage, showcasing the toll her struggles were taking. Despite grappling with severe insomnia, the actress remained dedicated to her craft, pushing herself to continue with the tour, though she had to rely on her alternate to step in for several performances. Olivier and Leigh's fiery passion extended to their disagreements, which often turned into heated arguments about their mood swings and erratic behavior. As Vivien's mental health declined, these confrontations became increasingly difficult for Olivier to navigate. The tension reached a breaking point during a theater tour when Leigh refused to go on stage, claiming she couldn't perform because she didn't have the right shoes. Frustrated and exasperated, Olivier lost his temper and slapped her in front of the cast and crew. Vivien, stunned and humiliated, retaliated by slapping him back before storming onto the stage, loudly cursing as she went. The incident left their colleagues in shock and highlighted the emotional volatility that had become a hallmark of their relationship. By the end of the grueling tour, both were emotionally and physically drained. Reflecting on this tumultuous period, Olivier later remarked with poignant resignation, "I lost Vivien in Australia." This admission symbolized not just the strain their relationship had endured, but the growing chasm between them as Lee's struggles with mental illness deepened. Next on their shared professional journey was A Streetcar Named Desire, where Vivien Leigh would take on the leading role of Blanche Dubois, with Laurence Olivier directing. Lee's portrayal of Blanche captivated audiences, and after months of performing on stage, she was cast in the film adaptation alongside Marlon Brando. The role became one of her most celebrated achievements, earning widespread acclaim and solidifying her legacy as an extraordinary actress. However, the emotional demands of embodying the fragile and unstable Blanche took a profound toll on her mental health. Reflecting on the experience later, Leigh admitted, "Playing Blanche tipped me over into madness," hinting at the devastating impact the role had on her personal life and psychological well-being. Vivien and Larry's once passionate relationship had deteriorated into a partnership largely centered around their careers. As icons of both the stage and screen, they were widely regarded as a formidable power couple and used their star power to secure prominent roles together. Over the years, they appeared in several successful productions, but the cracks in their personal lives continued to deepen. Vivien's bipolar disorder worsened, leading to unpredictable behavior that strained their already fragile bond. Meanwhile, Larry's frequent affairs added to the mounting tension between them. In 1953, Vivien suffered a severe mental breakdown while filming Elephant Walk alongside Peter Finch, with whom she had been romantically involved. The incident brought production to a halt, and Vivien was sent home to recover. It was during this time that those closest to the couple began to understand the extent of her struggles with mental illness. In a moment of candor, Vivien confessed her affair with Finch to Larry, a revelation that further strained their marriage. Despite these challenges, the pair chose to maintain their union and professional partnership. They even returned to the stage together, delivering memorable performances that masked the growing turmoil in their private lives. Their resilience as performers belied the heartbreak and instability that defined their personal relationship. In 1957, Vivien Leigh became pregnant, but her joy was short-lived as she suffered a miscarriage just a few months later. The heartbreaking loss plunged her into another deep depression, further straining her already fragile marriage. By 1958, it became clear to both Leigh and Laurence Olivier that their relationship was beyond repair. Olivier had begun an affair with actress Joan Plowright, while Leigh found solace in the company of actor Jack Merivale. These were not fleeting entanglements. Both Leigh and Olivier remained with their respective new partners for the rest of their lives, signaling the definitive end of their once passionate union. In 1960, Vivien Leigh and Laurence Olivier officially ended their tumultuous marriage with a divorce that marked the final unraveling of their once glorious partnership. Though separated, they continued to share the stage for a time, but their performances revealed the toll their strained relationship had taken. The magic that once defined their on-stage chemistry seemed to have faded, replaced by an evident emotional distance. By this point, Vivien's mental health had deteriorated significantly. The mounting pressure of her career, compounded by the disintegration of her personal life, exacerbated her fragile state. Her unpredictable mood swings and bouts of deep depression made it increasingly difficult for her to maintain stability, both professionally and personally. In the same year as her divorce, Vivien's struggles reached a breaking point. In a particularly dark episode, she threatened to take her own life, leaving her close friends and family in a state of profound worry. This alarming incident underscored the severity of her condition, and those who loved her feared for her safety. Despite their divorce, Olivier continued to care deeply for her, remaining a steadfast figure in her life as she grappled with her mental health challenges. Vivien's story, marked by immense talent and tragic vulnerability, became one of resilience and heartbreak as she struggled to find peace amidst the chaos. Despite her relationship with Jack Marivelle, Vivien Leigh admitted that she never fully recovered from her separation from Laurence Olivier. She once poignantly remarked, "I would rather have lived a short life with Larry than face a long one without him." Her enduring love for Olivier remained evident throughout her life. She kept a cherished photograph of him on her bedside table until her final days, a testament to the profound and undying bond they once shared. In her later years, Vivien Leigh faced significant challenges as her physical health began to deteriorate due to tuberculosis, a condition she had battled for much of her adult life. Despite her illness, she remained determined to continue her craft, though her work became increasingly sporadic. Maintaining the energy and focus required for her demanding performances proved difficult, often leaving her exhausted. However, her extraordinary charisma and remarkable talent never wavered. Whether gracing the stage or appearing on screen, she possessed an unmatched ability to captivate audiences, leaving an indelible mark on every role she undertook, even in the face of declining health. On July 7, 1967, Vivien Leigh passed away at her London home. Her lifeless body was discovered by Jack Marivelle, her devoted companion who had been caring for her as her health steadily deteriorated. Lee's death was attributed to complications from tuberculosis, a disease she had fought valiantly for many years. At just 53 years old, her untimely passing marked the end of an era. Fans and colleagues alike mourned the loss of one of Hollywood's most gifted and enigmatic stars, whose legacy continues to shine through her unforgettable performances. Larry Olivier, despite grappling with his own failing health, was profoundly devastated by the news of Vivien Leigh's passing. Upon hearing of her death, he was among the first to arrive at her home to pay his respects. Friends who witnessed the moment recalled a visibly shaken and emotional Olivier, a stark contrast to the stoic demeanor he was known for. His grief laid bare the depth of his enduring love for Vivien, even after their marriage had ended years earlier. In later years, Olivier openly admitted that he had never stopped loving her, and her memory remained a poignant presence in his life, haunting him until his own passing in 1989. For 2 dazzling decades, Laurence Olivier and Vivien Leigh captivated Britain and the world as the ultimate power couple, a pairing that seemed to embody romance itself. Leigh, with her enchanting beauty, playful charm, and delicate allure, was the perfect complement to Olivier, a masterful actor exuding a brooding and magnetic sexuality. Their connection was instantaneous and electric, sparking the moment Leigh first laid eyes on him. Together they became the epitome of glamour and passion, enchanting audiences both on and off the stage. The love story of Laurence Olivier and Vivien Leigh is often remembered as one of the most romantic, passionate, and ultimately tragic tales in Hollywood history. Their relationship was a complex tapestry of love, ambition, and artistry that transcended the boundaries of their personal struggles. Together, they created a partnership that not only captivated audiences on stage and screen, but also left an indelible mark on the world of entertainment. Vivien Leigh's unforgettable portrayal of ScarlettOHara in Gone with the Wind, along with her groundbreaking performances and unyielding spirit, continues to inspire generations of actors and fans. Their story stands as a poignant reminder of the beauty and fragility of love amidst the pressures of fame and artistic pursuit. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. If you're new here, we'd love for you to join our amazing community. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.